So it took me about a year to get into the 700, and I basically created a framework that I call it 5 Simple Steps to Credit Repair. Well, the secondary, well, Russ, if I might, let me kind of walk you through what I learned in that process, right? Because it took me about a year to go from my score had dropped so low. I was like a 435, something like that. So it took me about a year to get into the 700, and I basically created a framework that I call it 5 Simple Steps to Credit Repair. And so let me share that with your audience if I can. One of the very first things that I suggest people do is get a copy of your credit report. Now, it seems very simple, right? But the question is, where do you go to get your report? Tell people don't go to Credit Karma. Let me give you 3 reasons why I wouldn't use Credit Karma. Number 1, with Credit Karma, you only get 2 scores. Number 2, there's no account numbers. So if you got 2 Capital Ones or 2 Affirms, how you going to know which one is which? And lastly, when it comes to Credit Karma, the score, it's not that it's wrong, but it's derived by a different algorithm, right? Something called a Vantage 3.0, as opposed to the FICO algorithm, which is the industry standard. So number 1, you got to get a copy of your credit report, because in order to fix it, you got to face it. Number 2, when you get a copy of your report, what I suggest most people do is look in the personal profile section. Make sure there's only 1 name, 1 address, and 1 employer. Now, you're not going to get any points from updating this information, but it's definitely going to help you seem more credible. Russ, can you imagine if you pull my report and you saw I had 9 different names, 15 different addresses? You wouldn't think I was credible. Number 3, if you got a bankruptcy, Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, or you have an eviction, my suggestion would be, and here's where the secondary agencies come in, would be to do a security freeze on these secondary agencies. Now, there are over 400 of them, but let me give you the top 6. LexisNexis, CoreLogic, ARS, Innovis, Check Systems, and Early Warning Service. It is these secondary agencies who are directly responsible for disclosing your bankruptcies and your evictions, because they get the information from the public records through a website called Pacer. Well, the problem with that is you, as a consumer, did not give them what's called permissible purpose under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, 15 U.S.C. 1681 BA2, to divulge that information to the consumer reporting agencies. Number 4, you need a strategy. Russ, it is absolutely imperative to have a strategy, because otherwise, I mean, imagine you and I, we did computers together, right? We did IT together. How are we going to fix something expeditiously without a strategy? You got to know which command to pull up, which you need a strategy to attack the problem, because otherwise it'll take us all day to figure it out. Well, credit is no different. You need a strategy.